Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Monday, the 14th of October, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed up 0.5% today to finish at 8,253 points. Among the large caps, the iron ore miners did well, led by Fortescue Metals Group, which raised more than 3%. Rio Tinto was up 1.7%. Other notables among the mega caps included CSL, ANZ and Macquarie, which all ended 1% higher. Woodside and Transurban both dropped by around 1%. The gold miners were among the best performers, with Regis Resources, Bellevue Gold and West African Resources doing pretty well. The miners also did well, with South 32 rising more than 4%. Worst in the day was Web Travel Group, which was created in a demerger of Webjet earlier this month. It fell 35%. Following a disappointing results update where it said margins in its European web beds business remain subdued. It was also a tough day for gaming companies, with Tabcorp and the Star Entertainment both lower. Story number 2, the latest news poll has put the coalition ahead of the Labor Party on a two-party preferred basis for the first time since the Albanese government won power. With an election due by the middle of May next year, the polls are starting to become much more relevant, and the news poll, conducted for The Australian, puts the coalition ahead 51 to 49%. The primary vote for the major parties, 38% for the coalition, 31% for Labor, is unchanged. It's the preferences that have shifted towards the Liberals and Nationals. The Greens are lower, and Pauline Hanson's One Nation is higher. Mr Albanese's approval rating fell to its lowest level since he took the job, though he is still well ahead of opposition leader Peter Dutton as preferred Prime Minister. Story number 3, it's a case of when, not if, a deadly bird flu pandemic arrives in Australia. The country's top medical expert warns as almost $100 million is allocated to dealing with an outbreak. The federal government will spend $95 million preparing for the H5N1 strain of bird flu, which has caused respiratory illness, reduced egg production and sudden death among wild birds and some mammal species in other countries, according to a report on AAP. The H5N1 strain of bird flu is different from the strain seen in Australia earlier this year, which led to egg shortages in supermarkets. Australia is the only continent without the H5N1 strain, but National Chief Medical Officer Paul Kelly says it's coming, most likely via migratory birds. He said it's important to get ahead of the curve. Professor Kelly said a bird flu outbreak would not lead to human health issues, but would spread in the same way as other influenza viruses. Story number 4, the head of the ACTU, Sally McManus, says she has had to live in multiple places and change her routine due to security concerns following the crackdown on the CFMEU. She told the ABC this morning that that's just her life at the moment, and it's the price to pay for standing up to people. The CFMEU went into administration in August following reports that bikies and underworld figures had infiltrated the union, including by being gifted lucrative delegate roles and labour hire agreements. Ms McManus said police have been helpful. She said unions were absolutely committed to standing up to intimidation, standing up to violence, standing up to corruption. And finally, story number 5, a man carrying illegal firearms, ammunition and fake passports was arrested near a Donald Trump rally in California over the weekend in what might have been a third assassination attempt on the former president. The 49-year-old was driving a black SUV at a security checkpoint close to Trump's rally in Coachella Valley. The man was taken into custody after he was found to be illegally carrying a shotgun, a loaded handgun with a high-capacity magazine, ammunition and fake passports and licenses, according to the sheriff's office. The suspect was charged with firearms offences before being released, and he's believed to be a member of the anti-government group Sovereign Citizens. Members maintained that the nation's laws do not apply to them. The arrest follows 2 assassination attempts on Trump, which have sparked concern that America's highly polarised election could trigger political violence. That's it for the afternoon report for Monday, the 14th of October, 2024. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Tuesday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.